Hello everybody, it's Leala.
And Beau.
And welcome back to my channel. Today, we are talking about Girls Planet Goo Goo Goo, episode Goo.
If Bora doesn't make it this round,
I don't know.
I'm going to cry.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
I don't know.
Psych! Pranked! You've been pranked!
You fell for it! Burn! April Fools!
Today is Saturday, April 1st, so happy April Fools, everyone. I hope we got you in the first couple seconds there.
I hope this actually goes up on April 1st. Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so that you thought you clicked on the wrong video.
April Fools! Guitar! That was the best April Fool's joke. I would have fallen for it.
You would have been like, I clicked on the wrong video.
Oh, no!
Okay, sorry.
There would be like 3 people who just immediately go back and never return.
I'm tanking my watch time. Anyway, hello everyone. We're actually here to talk about episode 9 of Boys Planet. If you like these sort of discussions,
or even if you don't like them,
if you don't like them, please subscribe, give us a like, leave a comment, tell us about your top 9 and why you love them.
Okay,
I've really liked a lot of the comments that we've got. They've really kind of given me different perspectives, and there's a couple quotes that I really liked that I'll probably, if I don't forget, to mention them later.
Yeah.
About some things. So.
We've been doing podcasts since 2007, and every time I put up a podcast, it makes me realize that there are people much smarter out there than I am. So quick, what's that called? Like tidying up three little things. First of all, if you're interested in this kind of show, go watch Peak Time. Fantastic.
Yeah, watch Peak Time.
We should have been covering Peak Time.
We should have been doing podcasts for Peak Time, but it's like almost over at this point. But it's such a good show.
It's a show about like already debuted and recently debuted groups, kind of like new groups, older groups, competing to have the prize is actually really cool. It's an album. It's $300,000 or something like that.
A concert. Yeah.
And what's really cool is there's some older, more experienced idols. So the vocals are outrageous. The rapping, the dancing's outrageous. It's a really fun show. Fun show. Second announcement is congratulations to Momo from Girls Planet 99 for making it into Baby Metal. So she is now Momo Metal. All caps, by the way. You have to type it all caps. She was one of my favorites. I was always a Riho stan, Riho Metal, best metal, but Momo's of course now my favorite.
Riho's like J-pop idol now.
Riho's
doing
a lot
solo
of
music.
Yeah, follow her. She does a lot of English stuff. She's really cool. Third point is it's officially been diagnosed, analyzed by science, and it's true.
What?
He is actually old and poor, short and ugly. It came from his mouth, from Ricky's own mouth. So we now know that Ricky has been a sham this whole time. I know he looks young and rich and tall and handsome, but nope. Old and poor, short and ugly, according to him. And I wonder how much money he pulled out of his pocket. They would look like a few bucks. It
was $1.
Oh, poor Ricky.
Poor Ricky. Their April Fool's video was really cute. His was the funniest of everyone.
Yeah, go check out their little videos.
Well, Junhyun's was actually the funniest because he was saying and he was like forcing himself to cry and saying, I really hate being public speaking or being the center of attention or something like that, which we all know is a lie.
Yeah, for people like him, it's usually a physical need to be the center of attention. Doesn't mean he enjoys it. As somebody who is always the center of attention.
Joking.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. He just can't help himself. Anyway, let's talk about the episode, shall we?
You know what I forgot to do?
What's that?
Make a slide about the parent stuff.
Well, that's fine. We can talk a little bit about it.
Well, let's go to the next slide.
I mean, it's parent stuff as expected.
Before we get into Supercharger, Supercharger, Supercharger.
I hate that chorus, but the rest of the song is good.
Supercharger. We're being really obnoxious today. Before we get into I meant to talk about it. They had their parents come in and they did a little performance for parents, and there was like only specific people who got the screen time with their parents that were really they were really laying it on pretty thick.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I know that Eugen's mom is completely pretty.
She's so pretty.
She looks like an
he
actress.
looks like his, yeah.
But she's probably also 34 years old. So
he looks so much like his mom, and it was so sweet. And Camden, I didn't know Camden was a twin.
Yeah, we found that out recently. Yeah.
His twin brother has the exact same mannerisms as him.
Yeah, they're twins, honey. They're identical twins.
I know, but mannerisms.
And he called him Hyung because he was born probably two
seconds
before
earlier.
Or something.
They were really cute because he was like, I did not want to see him acting cute. So Camden's mom and his brother came, which is cute.
I don't remember seeing the mom, just his brother, but
yeah, mom. Who else? Taere's parents, he was getting all, like, crying and stuff.
Oh, Taeray cries all the time.
Taeray's such a sweet.
He's just an emotional dude.
His parents were cute. Who else did they focus on?
Not to be, like, negative or whatever, but supposedly, Matthew's parents said they weren't invited. I don't know if that's the case. What it was
a rumor.
Who knows? But the parents said it, didn't he? The dad or something like that.
I don't know.
Anyway, it was cute, but yeah, I mean, Leela said this, and I thought it was true. Like, instead of just having everybody go to Dion's house, they just brought everybody's parents to be like, we're not being.
Yeah, and they showed Hanbin's
excuse me,
mom too. Was cute. Kata's parents were really cute. His dad is like a bodybuilder. Was that Kata's dad?
Is anybody that tan is a bodybuilder, muscle guy.
It goes across the screen so quickly, and they like don't put the name like this is so and so's parent like on the screen, so it's kind of a little confusing. But I think that was Kata's dad, who's like a bodybuilder or something, which is wild. And Kata was saying that his parents have never seen him perform.
A couple of them said
that made me really sad.
No, I think that when especially when he's from Japan. I think
he's been doing this crap for 10 years.
I think what he said was they haven't seen him perform in person. They've seen videos, of course. I think though, if you send your kid off to college across the United States, which happens here, they might be doing debates and stuff, and you never see it.
Cypher debuted during the pandemic, so they didn't have audiences, and they haven't done a concert or anything. That really got me in the feels.
But what better now than ever. I mean, he's on a show. He's popular. He's already achieved more popularity than most of these kids on the show. So I don't feel bad for him.
Junhyun's mom and grandma, and they were just like face palming at him, acting like cute. Doing I'm the 5.
I hate the 5-year-old thing. I think it's cute, but
and it was like she had on her face like, yeah, that's mine, that's my son, and he looks like his mom. It's really cute.
It's important. I loved it. It's important to remember though too that Jihyun is like 2 years older than Takuto or something. So he's still a very young guy.
He's like 3 years older.
Whatever. He's still very young. So he's still working out his levels of intensity, like how to tone it down here and there. But that's what I love about him. Yeah. That's what I love about him. In fact, as you watch the show now, this is what happened with GP. It happens with any reality show you watch. You start to just really like
almost everybody
because it shrinks down and you start to see their personalities.
We'll get to that towards the end. I have a tier list that basically the way I've been feeling lately is I just love everybody. But okay, so let's talk about Supercharger and nothing else
about Supercharger or about the Parents' Day.
About the Parents' Day.
There was probably something we're missing, but it was cute. Go watch it. It was nice to see.
Supercharger team was the like.
I didn't remember.
What?
The parents, they thought they were giving an evaluation, but it was actually sweet letters.
Oh, and so everyone was bawling, and Gunwook was bawling,
and
that's when his mom.
I don't remember that part because that's anytime it's something like that, I just get up and walk away. I just don't watch. I'll cry. Gungwook has been, I think, getting such a positive last few episodes, but we'll talk about him in a minute. With this one, I thought this one was really cool.
Supercharger. I wanted to just say that Supercharger team was a team. Haruto was the only one original member left in this team. Everyone else was pushed out of their teams into this one, and so he was a little bit of like Island of Misfit Idol trainees, like this team. But the first thing we saw of this is they gave us all the dance practices for all songs in the full song.
You need to watch.
No contact, just dance practice. And the first time I watched this, I was like blown away the dance practice. Like, you just did that. Cha Woon-gi just did that.
Yeah.
Like, he did so good.
I agree, but for me, it illustrates more that this show doesn't want... It's not as entertaining, I guess, but they won't show you just a plain old hard work practice session where they do and they own. They want to tell you a story of struggle and stuff.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, but even Takuto and stuff looked really good in it.
Yeah.
You could tell he was struggling here and there, but he did
okay.
Instead, they want to make it look like he's still struggling a lot, which he is. He's kind of an awkward kid. But, this is... At the same time, I understand why they have to do that stuff. They have only limited... The shows are already 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So they put all that fun stuff on YouTube. So as a viewer of these shows by now, if you've been watching them for a while, you should know I need to go to the YouTube channel and check out some of the other content because the dance practice was incredible. But you also forget that Woongi's a debut idol. He's been training for a long, long time. Haruto's been training for a long, long time. Someone's a debut idol. There's skills there that they don't show when it's constantly Woongi being silly or crying or whatever. It's like, I appreciate that stuff. It makes me love him more, whatever. But I also want to see his actual skills.
But, you forget that, Woongi is capable of doing different styles because TO1 did different styles. Like TOO, when he debuted with a song that was like not exactly like Supercharger, but pretty darn close. And like I wouldn't have thought twice about Woongi doing a song like that. But so like you have all these biases in your head about like what Woongi can or can't do, or what certain people can and can't do. And then you need to take that away and just watch the dance practice, and you're like, oh yeah, he's good.
But that,
you know,
this
like,
is why it was.
really
I
good.
said it was so smart for So-On to go into the Monster X song, to start not only showing sides of himself, but showing sides of himself while he maintains some part of it. He didn't just completely negate who he was by doing a Monster X song. He wasn't faking it. He was So-On doing a same with Woongi. Woongi didn't drop out Woongi parts of his performance. He was still Woongi, a little sassy here and there, whatever. But like you said though before, if you didn't know this was if you just saw their dance video, you could have easily thought, oh, this is a debuted group or whatever. That's the levels we're getting to. Yeah. But I think the only weakness with this song, if there was one, and I'm nitpicking, and the reason I don't think they probably win, is A, it's less popular people in the team, but also their vocals, although good, So-On's good, and Woongi's good, they're not really powerful.
They didn't have super powerful, maybe.
And without the power, this is a powerful song. And everything, this needed the Gungwook treatment where you're like, go, 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 you know? Yeah. And it kind of lacked in power a little bit. So, but having said that, seeing what they had to learn with a week less time. If Haruto hadn't been there, I think they would have been in a lot of trouble.
They would have been in a lot of trouble.
Because he was already training it, but also he's a very good leader and dancer.
He was a good dance teacher. Like, I'm really, like, starting to love Haruto a lot. Like, he's just so good. And he, like, took on both leader and center.
Here's the thing about Haruto, too, is I don't think he'll make the final group. My feeling is. Now, you never know. You never know. Yeah. But he's shown so much of his skill during this time and such a personality. He gets picked up with in some way, shape, or form back in Japan, here in Korea, whatever. I'm not worried about him. But we also want to see, if So-On and Woongi don't make it, a YouTube channel where they go around and hang out with idols or go shopping or just go around being...
a Chu Can Do It style YouTube channel for Woongi and So-On, because they have hard carried the entertainment value of Boys Planet.
He's like, calm down. He's like, I'm so excited.
The two of them are just so entertaining together that, like, I hope someone sees the potential there of the two of them, like, doing some content.
Right, but I would rather see them be idols because I want to see idols who are openly feminine and stuff. I want to see that starting to get challenged in K-pop without it being like, here's the one idol over here who's openly, you know, whatever. So I still want to, of course I want to see them in the group. I don't think they're going to make it, but you know, I want to see something happen to them. But other than that, Supercharger was good. It's just not my favorite song. Yeah. It's a little bit clunky.
It's okay. And final statement on Supercharger, Wang Jianhao.
Excuse me.
That's the statement.
Yeah, he's good.
He looks like that. Look at him.
You know who got this?
Everyone.
You know who got
Have you looked at him?
Right, but you know who got
Has
that
everyone
treatment?
looked at him?
You know who got that treatment last? Was, what's his name in who am I thinking of? Banana Nana guy. Where he came out, he won first place in that song.
Sungwon, yeah.
He just is like, this guy is so good looking. Like
he looks like that, everyone.
He looks like an idol.
He is.
I mean, they're all
for me, top visual entire show. He is stunning.
I don't know about that.
He is so freaking good looking. It's insane.
But you know,
it is insane. I was like, you're kidding me. But then again, I'm also weak for jeans and like a button-up shirt. You know, like something that's just a little bit
vacation wear.
Yes.
Okay.
Just simple.
Yeah, I mean, K-pop,
clean, extremely handsome.
K-pop fashion that's everybody knows is garbage most of the time. It's so strange. That person. He looked like he just showed up.
He was grown up, taking all these kids to like the theme park or whatever it was in his vacation wear. But I love him.
Yeah, it was fun.
I love it. He's so good.
And Ollie did fine. Ollie's not probably going to make it, but again, Ollie will probably get picked up by somebody. He's a great... Yeah. There's something interesting with Ollie.
The cuties are adorable, but yeah.
But real quick, I wonder what it was, why the song was the song of the cast-offs. Because nobody wanted to do this song. And I think maybe it was the chorus, the timing or something.
They said that the choreography was just hard.
It was hard. Yeah. It was hard.
But yeah, it was fun. I loved that the audience was chanting Supercharger because it's just so catchy. Like,
yeah, but a lot of these songs
gets in your head. But it just made me feel really good that everyone was supporting them in that moment, just doing the fan chant like they were supporting a group that they love. Yeah. Like, that just made me really happy for them. That
interesting
was
group,
awesome.
too.
Love that.
Yeah. The little light sticks.
Yeah, the only other performance for the actual performance on stage this week was On Guard. They all were in the group originally. They had to, like, remove some people. Is that right? I don't remember. Anyway.
Yes. I think they removed, what's his name? Dancer who's rising up in the ranks is really good. Okay guy. I forget his name.
Jungwoo?
I think was he in here?
I don't remember.
Anyway.
Their whole story was that they were kind of a little bit resting on their laurels and not, like, working as hard as they could have been, and they got chewed out. And I was like, whoa. And then Hui, like, gave them the, like, verbal dressing down, telling them, like, no, you need to sit and think about what you did.
Don't just go,
well,
yeah,
also,
guys, you can do
like,
it, you know.
They were, like, really called them out for being late to practice one day. They got ripped to shreds for that.
I will never trust the complete story from Mnet editing and stuff, but when the members themselves are saying, oh, sorry, we were late, and oh yeah, he's right, we weren't doing, then I trust it for the most part. I think what happened is you got Gungwook, who's a powerful dancer, Hui, who's basically got the producer's eye, so he's picking people who in parts and stuff, but and then you got Joo-hyun, who I think is really comfortable in this type of thing. I don't know the other two guys much at all, who wrote to especially. And then Guvin, who's just been floating by on his cutiness, let's just be honest, but whatever. I think that there is an element of them becoming a bit complacent, whether they know it or not.
I think at this point in this run, this is like a grueling, like, run. Everyone's got to be exhausted and tired and stuff. And so they were at the point where they're like, okay, I can be comfortable now. And maybe weren't trying as hard as they could have, but then they showed them, like, they stayed up till like 4 a.m. practicing, which is crazy. Like, how do you do that?
But every idol knows that's what you do.
But they worked it out. They got their stuff together, and then, like, this song, like, it also isn't my favorite.
No,
I don't even really remember how it goes. But they looked like a debuted group. Like, they're very
they're good, but
it's hard to not look like a debuted group when you have, like, Gunwook as the center in a song that's powerful because that's his thing, that's his specialty, and then Hui is a main vocal, like, he's a professional. Like, everyone looked really good. Sungwon impressed me a lot because he helped carry the high notes with Hui.
I don't remember.
He got no attention for it. Why? It's like Sungwon is invisible to you. We got called out in the comments because you were like, how do you not know who he is?
Yeah, Banana Guy.
Yeah.
That's what I was just talking about. No, I know he did the singing part, but I just don't... This song, to me, and this style of K-pop fashion, look, everything, has been done for so long, it kind of blends into... I'm looking for something new and fresh. I don't want the cutesy song either. That's been done a million times. I want, like I was talking last time, a return maybe back to, like, R&B-ish stuff, like what Jay's doing, hopefully, in their song. These, make no mistake, all these guys did great. Gungwook, I think, has had a glowing last couple episodes. He's shown his humility. He's still a kid. I know he is an adult, but you know what I'm saying? He's still a kid. He respects everybody. He works hard. He has an interesting thing going on. I like Gungwook a lot. I like all these guys a lot. Don't get me wrong. Of course, Joo-hyun's my guy, but I still want to see something a little bit different.
I don't think this was... He got no attention, here.
Because
and it's hard for him to, like, stand out in a group with Gunwook and with Hui and stuff like that. Like, then in a team like that, he's sort of in the, like, middle, whereas, like, in a team like Dong, he was, like, the strongest vocalist,
right? But he could
almost the strongest.
He could middle himself right out of this group, and that's. I'm not saying it's something he can consciously do. He's working hard like everybody, but he needs a moment where he has some vocal moments where he has a really nice solid vocal moment, or maybe a ballad or something. That's what I'm saying. He does that well, but. Having said that, if you look at it objectively, I'm not personally insulting anybody out there, people. For Guvin to win first place again with Gungwook, with Joo-hyun or whatever, with Banana Nat, for him to win first place, everybody knew that was based strictly on that's just their favorite. He's a cutie. He's tall. Whatever. I'm not saying he's not talented, for God's sakes. I'm just saying that. When you have dynamos like Gungwook...
This is a popularity contest, everyone.
I understand.
At the end of the day, It's a beauty / popularity contest.
I'm not negating that at all. And it's K-pop. I'm not talking about it like it's high art necessarily. But I wouldn't mind if K-pop started to consider that a little bit more.
Well, yeah.
And I think that
I'm not saying aren't going to consider
whatever.
It, but producers may.
I'm not saying we should ever get it because he's always stably good. That's an accepted thing. Of course, he should always be first because he's the best. But he's had the most time. I think Gungwook or Banana Sungwon should have got it. Yeah. I just think there was a more of a carrying potential there. Whereas Guven, for every song he's won first place in, has done kind of a mid tempo, mid section. He's a middle player. Yeah. And it's kind of like, oh man, you could tell everybody in the room and everything was like, oh, okay, we knew that was going to happen. But so I'm not griping, but I'm just saying that that's how
it is. What it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like
I'm not going to be mad about it.
No, I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying that. Come on. But whatever.
And I thought since we've seen the dance practices, we could talk briefly about all the other teams. They haven't properly performed yet, but we've heard the songs and we've seen the dance practices. So the only thing we haven't seen is how it looks on stage. So just like briefly to talk about the rest of them. Over Me is my favorite song. Over Me is my favorite team. Just, oh God. There's a chance they might have been the one to actually win. Because I think in the preview for next episode...
you keep saying this.
They show the reactions of people reacting to the team that won. It was no one in this team doing a reaction, Yes. Like, it was like looking away, like they were looking to the winner. And they showed a blurred image of the clearly on guard team, the people wearing all black, hugging each other. But it was a little bit of like a consolation. Everyone did a good job, pat on the back.
Not like that, yeah.
And if you listen closely, there's a absolute high-pitched screech in the background that I'm pretty sure is Quanji.
No, it's Woongi because they won. Woongi got number one.
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to guess, maybe, Over Me won. Also would explain, we'll get to it in a little bit, Ricky's astronomical rise in ranking via bonus points.
Possibly.
Via bonus points.
Okay.
And because Ricky maybe even got like voted first in his team.
Okay,
you know
maybe.
What I mean?
This kind of speculation has worked once in the entire history of man.
What?
From trying to predict the nucleus of it,
what?
All that worked once.
What?
Where it was a blurred screenshot and I saw Bora's pink hair and knew that she survived and she survived. It worked once in all theoretical physics back when they were trying to figure out basic math, the wheel, all that. None of that worked except that one time of prediction, right? Mm-hmm. I think if it works, that'll be the second time in history to predict.
I need this on Spotify. I looked today. I thought the songs were up already on Spotify. I guess maybe next week they go up on Spotify. Dude, Jay sounds insane. Ricky sounds insane.
Why are they recording?
John Howe sounds insane.
Why are they recording?
Oh my God! Like I don't even know who Jung Hyun is. Where did you come from? Who are you? But he added a little rap part, just a short one, not overpowering, and it fit so nicely. Dude, this team.
Why do they record the songs ahead of time? To lip
Because
sync on stage or to Spotify?
Because it's going on Spotify.
That's what I thought. Okay, so first of all, this screenshot, I hate this screenshot.
Why?
Look at the lines.
They're not
Nobody's
together.
Matching. Now, I'm not saying that's just a practice.
Wait, you can't match perfectly when you're different heights.
You can. I guarantee it they could. Looking in the mirror, they could figure out how to do it. Other than that, this to me is, this group right here gave me the same vibes that U plus Me equals Love team then with the Twin Towers.
Yeah, that it was just like...
This is a group.
They're so
like
good.
A little 5-person group, could you imagine?
Oh my God.
You have the vocals of Jung Hao and Jay.
You guys.
You got Ricky and what's his name is dancers. You got the rapper. So...
Oh my God. You guys.
I think they're probably saving it to them because I think Jay gets a lot of positive responses, but I don't know that it's going to equal necessarily him getting all the votes he needs. Same as Ricky.
It's some bull crap.
I think that Ricky and Jay might be kind of the So Richie kind of thing where they're always floating.
I don't want to hear about it.
I'm just saying. Quanji is an interesting thing because I thought he would have no chance really in the long run because he was such a unique individual. It was all about his ability to...
You know who Quanji reminds me of? You don't know 17 as much, but the 8 from 17.
I know the name, the 8, yeah. He's real tall and skinny.
He's like a dancer. He does like all different types and he reminds me a lot. So I'm like, someone needs to snatch this man up because just the potential there for something. Like,
the thing is about a Quanji too.
He's so
you don't
cool.
see this in Jay. and you barely see it in Ricky, but you see it in Zhang Hao. And this is why people respect Zhang Hao so much, including myself. He is, if I had to pick a number one of the the cool jocks, he's the cool jock number one.
Yeah. He
is he's the leader of the X-Men.
He's just
is that they have a history of performance or something where there's no questions. I don't know that I've seen Quan Chi or Zhang Hao. I know they've cried and stuff, but like giving up or not taking instruction or not listening. There's a professionalism there that I think if this was a group, they could teach to Jay, because Jay's still learning Korean more. He's still learning his
dance. He's still learning.
Ricky is,
but he does work.
Of course,
I don't want to hear it.
Of course,
I don't want to hear Jay dance slender.
Not everybody's been training dance as long, but I'm just saying that there's an interesting dynamic with this group that excites me, that I got with You Plus Me Equals Love, and it never happened, but I still there's still a fantasy group there that I think is really cool. So for me, if these 5 landed into the final group, I'd be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Briefly, Say My Name team. Okay, Mr. Over Here, I hate Say My Name or whatever.
No, I don't hate my name.
I disagree with you completely. I love this song. It reminds me of 17 and Astro, some of my favorite groups that exist.
Very good groups.
I love cute concepts.
I do too.
The song is so good. Eugen in this type of song, a cute high school crush, age appropriate, smiling. He is perfectly fit to this. Sure. The other stuff they had him doing was a bit like sus, but this and Matthew in a cute song. I mean, but is a revelation. He is a revelation in a cute song.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying of all the songs, it feels like we're watching a concert and then they do the cutesy meme song, so we can all go, "Oh, how cute!" And then you see like 25-year-old man saying "I'm 5" and stuff, which is fine. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it feels like that kind of a meme fun thing.
But Hanbin can do anything. Like, it goes without saying that he can do any style. He smize,
man. He smize.
He smize. He's beautiful.
Smize from Astro.
This is an Astro song. Oh, yeah. People don't know that we call Chaunu smize. This is an Astro song. He is Chaunu. Like, give it to me. I love it. I actually love it.
What's funny is if you look in this screenshot, because it's a little bit blurry, it's not perfect. The guy in the back right, who is that? Jiwon. He looks almost like Gyuvan? Who's the Red House that went home? It looks like he made it into this group. And I like that Jiwon was like wanting to be in this and stuff, but I don't. We haven't seen their little section, I don't think yet. I'm betting that they say
they had a bunch of conflict about. Like, here's the thing that's bothering me, and you know what? I'm just done with Mnet's bullcrap. Don't let Mnet's bullcrap change your like voting strategies or whatever at this point. Like, if you like somebody, because like they started the series with the story that Hanbin and Matthew are besties. They've been besties. They want to debut together, and we bought in on episode 1 that they're a package deal. We love them both. They love each other.
I didn't buy in on that. You bought.
I bought in on that.
I didn't buy in on that.
I love them, but we love
each other. Good story, though.
Since then, they haven't been in a team together. So now they're back in this team together. We haven't seen them together. Like, they've been ignoring each other or something. I don't know. And then we've gotten Hanbin Zhang Hao as the dynamic duo. That they're the besties. They've been in teams together. They are really close. And then they bring back Matthew and Hanbin and play this, like, conflict storyline. And Matthew, I think, is overly stressed out and cracking up. He was like he was taking it personally that they wanted to switch parts, which, like, I get it. It's hard not to take it personally, but don't take it personally. Okay. It wasn't a personal affront to you. They just wanted to give that particular line to someone who's a main vocal material.
Is it
like, I just wanted to like jump through the screen and be like, Matthew, it's okay. Don't take it personally, please.
Is it, and this, forgive me for saying this, but is it a bit of a cultural difference too, that Matthew was okay with being like, no, I'm challenging this a bit, and Jiwon was like, it's whatever's good for the group, because K-popers are always doing this stuff.
I think it was
like, they'll respect the leader, don't question the leader.
I think it was 100% like I said, that Matthew is really stressed out. Well, he's a little overwhelmed. This is a lot. And he was just, for some reason, but the reason I mentioned the friendship with Hanbin and the whole thing with, like, changing the bestie is that if they're besties, why couldn't Hanbin feel comfortable telling one of his closest friends, speaking to him, telling him straight, like, how it should be, like, what you want, or giving him criticism? I found it hard to believe that Hanbin is holding back so much from ever doing or saying anything that might be perceived as less than perfect. He was afraid to give criticism to his friend.
I thought he explained it all right. He said you have to imagine that...
He was scared to tell Matthew.
Yeah, but Ji-woong wasn't. He said you got to think of the group.
Ji-woong had to do it.
But...
So I was a little bit like, Hanbin, are you like holding back so much because of this rank number 1 thing?
I don't know.
You won't talk to
both
Matthew?
him and Matthew both, though, need to understand that, yes, there is a possibility of a drop in rank and stuff like that. You've been floating in the top 9 for so long that even if you don't make it in the group, you're going somewhere to somebody.
Well, let's hope.
Okay, I'm just saying. But when you see the top level guys who are just really good, I saw this in Girls Planet 2, and they're just so stressed about maintaining ranks. Like, Ji-woong has kind of a bit more of a nicer attitude about it, although I have to say, in this song, I think he's getting... I'm not saying he's getting lazy at all, I don't want to say that, but he is looking a bit for not a challenge, but maybe something that he hasn't done before. Not necessarily that he hasn't challenged himself to do. This isn't a challenge for him, I don't think, for none of them. But they're so worried about their rank. It's like, man, you number 2 and number 1 and number 3, and like you guys are up there for. Can you just go ahead and step back a little bit for once? Don't worry about it. And that's how I felt about Matthew. I was like, dude, what are you doing, man? But I think what he was feeling. This is a group of people he knows and trusts. They're giving the part that he wanted to a guy who I think is quite a bit lower rank, maybe. I don't know. And it felt to me the way they were editing it, at least that I could see, that he was being told from his friends, sorry,
you're not good enough.
You're somebody has to be sacrificed. We just decided you're sacrificed. That's why he was like, I guess I have no choice.
Yeah.
Most you'll never see. You probably in this whole series you never saw anybody just say, "Well, I guess I got no choice, do I?" Like Gungwok when they were telling him that he was being replaced for the killing part
as a joke,
and he was like, "Oh," you could tell he was gonna cry or something, but he would never dare say to his elders. But this is what I'm saying is that maybe there's a bit of a comfort level with Matthew has with Hanbin where he was like, "Well, I mean, I guess I got no choice, do I, buddy?" And it was a bit of that. I don't think it was him being a jerk. I think it was him being just natural with his friends. He felt a little betrayed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the song is not...
And too,
it's a 5-person song. Like everybody's going to shine.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bounce through the TV screen and be like, Matthew, trust me. It doesn't matter what part you have. You are going to stand out in a song like this because it's you. Look at his smile. Look how cute he is.
He's already stood out in the show.
Everything he does, he stands out in. Like, don't worry about it. But... Anyway, I love the song.
The song is adorable. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that I don't think...
Win.
I think... I was saying this earlier before you interrupted me. I think that probably... Because we haven't seen their little training session or maybe... I'm betting they get yelled at for taking this too lightly. Like, oh, it's just an easy song, isn't it? Because it is. They could do this in their sleep. This harks and stuff.
Of all the choreographies,
of course.
It's the easiest.
And I'm not saying that's... I'm not knocking them. I'm not saying they're not... I'm knocking them. But this is not a challenge for any of these guys. This song is not a challenge for anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe Takudo because he's can't dance very well. But you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to see an actual challenge from these guys, not a fun song they're gonna do on the side at a concert. That's like, do you know what I mean? It's like a song they can rest on. Oh, here's this. Oh, I'm so glad this song is up next because I can chill now and just do a silly dance with a heart.
But this is the type of song that the people love, and this is about pleasing the people.
I know, but at this point we're trying to create a super group.
Okay.
So I don't know.
And last was Switch Team, another team where pretty much everybody in the team was, except for Camden and Schweibo, right? Were kicked out of their other teams and put into this one. Park Han-bin volunteered to go here because he likes this song, and he was already thinking he already knew this was going to happen. He was already playing 2 steps ahead of everybody because he's like, yeah, I'm going to get removed from the team that I was voted in, but I liked the song Switch, and I think I could do better. He was not wrong.
Yeah. Also, I think he just had a backup plan.
He had a backup plan.
Brilliant
and
move.
He's smart, and did well. But so a little bit of a slightly ragtag team, but I like this song a lot. I think the crazy stage outfits are going to distract from...
Oh, I hate those outfits.
They're a lot. They look like neon highlighters. It's insane. That, like, if you just watch the dance practice and they're just in regular clothes or whatever, I like the song and I like the dance more than I do when they're wearing the crazy clothes.
I thought they should have went for more of a cool thing, not a...
I don't know what that was.
Not one of these dolls here. What are those called? The OMG dolls? Not an OMG doll. But...
it was just a bit... The outfits are a bit... insane.
Yeah, it doesn't fit their personality either.
It was kind of like, what's the identity of this song? It's actually kind of a cute, playful song, and then the outfits are a bit like just crazy.
Yeah.
And they put weird, terrible extensions in Swibo's hair. I don't know if that was a setup
the
or what
thing, yeah.
what was going on there.
Dear God, what was that?
Yeah, so we haven't got to see much from them yet, but I think this style of song suits Kata really well. It suits Jongwoo well. It suits all of them. Like, Tae is one, I don't know. But they needed a main vocal, so
this is more of a challenge, I think, for Tae and Swibo. That I have everything's a challenge for Swibo, I think. But I think that everybody else fits it pretty well. This is the song where they asked Matthew to be in it, and he said, "Can I get the killing part?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." And he watched the song, and then later he was like, "Maybe I should have went to Switch then." I thought that was a bit too far, but at the same time, speak your mind, man. Speak your mind. You're not losing no votes, Matthew. Not with that smile, bro. So I this song was fun. I like this kind of style too. It's kind of up. What was the song? Was it the performance in the last episode? They were calling like "Cute but Powerful." What were we watching?
It might have been this one. I don't know.
I can't remember where we saw it. And I thought, that is a real... No, it was something with Gungwalk in it, I thought. And it really did have a good... I thought, oh, that's a really neat kind of new genre blend of like where you're doing a happy kind of cutesy song, but you're doing it... Oh, I'm sorry. It was on Peak Time. Sorry.
Wrong show.
On Peak Time, there was a powerful group of dancers and they did a cutesy song, but they did it in a powerful way. And it had this really interesting...
Oh, yeah, DKB.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted, Say My Name, I wanted to see a bit of that kind of cool cute instead of just cutesy. So this is kind of more of my style with the cutesy-ish.
The only other comment on that dance practice is that...
Ouch, you hit me.
Having Kata and Swibo in a team together is visual comedy gold.
Okay, stop.
Because... He just makes him look so tiny.
So again, you're laughing at the short guy.
So cute.
You're laughing at the short guy.
I think it's adorable.
You're laughing at the short guy.
I love him.
Yeah, but it's funny because there's a short guy. You're not laughing at Swibo. You're laughing at Kata.
It makes Swibo look like this extremely
By the way,
lanky...
Leela is 6'2" in real life. Just so you know that.
No. So, I just think it's funny.
I think it's funny too.
It's a funny visual gag, like in Pentagon. You know Pentagon?
Yes,
they have a 6'2" member and a 5'6" member or whatever. And like... Whenever they stand next to each other, it's just really funny.
I'm 5'6". I'm shorter than every man in history, but I don't care. I've never cared. But I think that this his height has affected votes, and the other great podcast we listen to, Boys Love Boys Planet, which is fantastic. Probably the best one out there.
Better than us.
Better than us, of course. Everybody's better than us. Anyway, they're making a good point. The height thing is just really kind of cringe to concentrate. Not saying you're doing that, but like voter, don't let it affect your vote. Yeah, I know. Visually, it doesn't help Kata.
It's funny. No, it's not that. It's just funny because Kata doesn't normally look that tiny, but I mean he looks really tiny next to him.
Those little short guys, I'm telling you right now, are some of the most athletic, strong little dudes.
Yes.
Low center of gravity.
Low center of gravity, everyone.
So he's very manly. I'm sure.
I love our short
Don't worry, Kata.
And midway through the episode, we had a targeted assassination attempt by Mnet because they showed the interim rankings, but only showed 2 G group members in the top 9. Ricky's debut in the top 9 at number 7, and then 5 beloved K group trainees on the verge of elimination. This was so obvious and so targeted. It's bullcrap.
Well,
like this was
it's also
not
very
cool.
This is how they're smart about, not smart, but it's kind of like
evil geniuses.
How you cover your tracks is you say, oh, but we showed them in 6 and 7 because we were trying to show that they could fall if you don't continue to vote or whatever. But it was obvious what they're doing is saying these G group people are invading our Korean territory. It's like it was really kind of this gross stuff they do.
Monumental drop to number 16 is them showing that is just going to send everybody, all of his fans, all the Korean fans, into absolute panic mode.
Yeah, but what else can
voting
they do?
For him to get back up into the top 9. It was just
right. But here's the question though.
Too much.
We're now voting for 3, right?
Yeah.
So he lost those positions in the 3-person vote, right?
Yeah.
So you had people who weren't really Uber fans anyway, so they might throw him back in their 3, but I don't know that it's really going to. I don't know that it's going to make a huge difference.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just like shoots right back up into the top 9 because of the fact that they showed this and there's still like over a week left.
Okay,
of
so
voting.
are we looking at the final? We don't know any final rankings right now. Just this right now.
This is halfway through.
Here I wanted to play a game with you really quick. I thought this would be enjoyable, and it's called Who is the Urena? Can you spot the Urena in the current kind of lineup of? Then we're not showing everybody, of course, but in everybody.
It's Matthew.
Who is the Urena? Who is the one who's going to be the
Matthew!
darling that everybody was convinced was going to make it? But ended up being such a fall from, like, she went way down.
Yeah.
That everybody was like, oh my God, she was literally what's the proper way to say it?
Filler vote.
Filler vote. Which seeing Urena in her solo stuff now, she's fantastic. She's beautiful. She sounds good. So I'm glad she's doing her own thing. But I was thinking, who is the Urena in this episode or in this series? And yeah, I don't think it's Matthew. I think it might be someone like, maybe even Gungwalk, something that somebody unexpected.
I don't know. But anyway,
could it be number one Hanbin? Like,
oh God, it was a targeted assassination attempt. And I was saying my theory though is that Over Me Team won and Ricky got first place because he rocketed up to rank 7. Those bonus points would explain a real big jump.
So
like that.
He got to number 7 after the audience vote and all that. Is that what you're saying? Like,
I think this might count bonus points.
I don't know that.
So I think they're showing us that Ricky.
But Kata, what was he last time though? He
8.
Okay, so he didn't. That could be just a normal.
That's
jump.
Just votes.
Well, I'm glad to see Kata in there.
Me too.
Yeah.
But.
Show guys represent.
Yeah. So our top 9s haven't changed. So instead of showing you the same top 9s, I'm showing you my tier list for now, everyone who's left.
Excuse me.
And this is how I feel about it. My top 9 is basically my 9 absolute favorite
can't though. We
members.
put Ollie literally, and it's a no from me. What a mean, horrible. Poor Ollie broke his hand for you. Broke his hand for you. I mean, he could have been neutral, but not. It's a no to Ollie.
I'm sorry.
You love Ollie.
It's a no for me on Ollie. Just like it's just a no.
You
for
put
me
him down there with Takuto.
Listen, so this is.
I'm calling BS on that one, right? I didn't see this before.
So this is basically my top 9 whom I
Let's
love.
See. Okay, who do you got? Woongi?
My perfect world top 9 that I'm not gonna get, but that I want.
Woongi. Hold on a second. Woongi, yes. Jay, yes. Kata, yes. Zhang Hao, 100%.
Woongi. Ji-woong. That's.
I couldn't see that. I can't read it. I can't even see it from here. Matthew, fine. Taylor, of course. And is that number 1 Hanbin? Is that who I'm saying? Call him BS on that too.
No, I like.
You're tolerating it. You're not.
No, I like him.
I'm saying he's fine.
So
Jungwoo and Gungwook. Okay, I'm cool with that. Totally.
That's my top 9. And then Yujin and Gyuvin, they're gonna debut.
So it's not your. I could see that.
So, and then, my not mad about it tier is that like if they were to like bump out someone else, or whatever, I'm not necessarily mad about it.
Ollie's not in that position. Oh my! I'm sorry, Ollie. I know you listen to this podcast because we talk to him on a daily basis.
I have to be honest. I have to be truthful to myself.
Ollie, he's got time in the oven still. He could cook up a little more.
Because like Ricky, being in the top 9 right now, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about
Ricky
it.
has a white up arrow on his neck, so that means something.
Yeah, he's going up. Like all of these like are people that I like a lot. If they were to suddenly end up in the top, I wouldn't be mad. Lee Junghyun is one that's like I said before, who are you? Where did you come from?
Yeah, interesting.
They're giving you all this screen time. You're super tall and good looking. Like, I'm a little scared that he's gonna just like come from behind and like knock some people down. But I don't know how to feel about him because I don't dislike him or anything.
I think he'll probably just wind up in some other group after the show. Yeah.
And then just like the only ones left that are still in the show at this point that are like a no for me, dog. We've talked about the reasons why I don't like we in this group. It's not that I dislike him. I like him a lot.
I'd rather see him producing their album. I'd rather see him producing some songs. I'd rather him
produce their album and be a soloist.
And make songs. He's a brilliant songwriter.
I just want a solo. I'll buy them. I'll give you money.
Okay, so...
and then just the other people that...
Another question we have to ask, though, and we were talking about this, and this is something that I think is an actual distinct possibility.
What?
End up with a group. We have to say who are the probably for sures that we think right now, and there's at least 5 K group.
I'm going to tell you no one is for sure.
I know, of course,
because one pick voting is going to send this into absolute turmoil.
I agree, but this is why I'm saying this. So let's say that we could say that probably at least 5 slots would be K group, right?
Okay.
that does leave the possibility of 4.
Yeah.
And the 4 we're talking about, G group, Matthew, it's a very strong possibility.
Yeah.
Ricky, pretty good possibility.
Jung
Hao,
yes,
pretty strong possibility.
Kata,
probably. Then you have, think about on top of that,
Jay, I don't know.
That's 5 that are pretty darn strong and have some possibilities in there. And then you have the ones that could sneak in there, like a Kwanji, like a Haruto, that could sneak in there. So
Wang Jihao.
There is
Wang Jihao being the Bahie, 0 screen time, massive one pick fan base. It similarly with Ricky.
And then you have the really far possibilities, like Ollie's and stuff.
They're just going to rocket their way into this team, and we're going to be like, where did that come from?
Right. So there is a world, an actual theoretical world, like in the multiverse, where you have 5 G group members. In my theory was if they had 5.
Not when one.
I agree. I'm just saying.
Has the value.
I think the audience is a little more savvy now. They've been watching these shows for a while. I'm not talking about the tweens who just want cutesies and stuff. I'm talking about the ones who know you have to stick by your person to get them in there. But so I was saying, if you had 5K group and 4G group, if you had 4, people are going to say Mnet's slate is wiped clean, all past shame and controversies and rigging and evil editing. We're cool with it because you did actually make a group that does kind of what it promises, a global group.
Yeah.
If you had 3G group, people are going to be cool with it, buy their albums. They're still going to be a good group and popular. But if you had 4, now if you had 5G group, I think it would be even more of a positive reaction. To think that Koreans wouldn't buy it because there's more, no, they'll still have their Korean members and they still love the G group members that make it in there. But then you would have I think something really exciting. And if you really plan it right, you're going to have a very strong vocal group too. So I don't know how it's going to go though. You're right. I have no idea, but I think there's 3 or 4 you can count on being in there. Zhang Hao, stuff like that. But,
I'm not going to rest on my laurels with relation to Zhang Hao because the same thing happened to Xiaoting.
Yeah, I agree. Or Urena,
where they were number 1 all the time, top of the. And then when it came down to one pick time, she barely squeaked her.
But Zhang Hao, I think, has a. And I'm not saying anything.
And Zhang Hao is beloved,
right? And I'm not saying anything against Shouting at all.
I want him in this team.
Yeah, Shouting is a very talented individual, but Zhang Hao has a multitude of talents. Speaks Korean fluently. It probably does. This guy is, I think, is the real ace of the show and always has been.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying anything against Hanbin. I'm saying if you have to rank them, Zhang Hao is number 1, and he's from China.
Yeah.
Yes, he's from China, so that is an exciting thing because we want to foster those relations and stuff like that. So I'm seeing a world where you could wind up with 4, if not even 5. I doubt it.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be 3 in the end. But if you did 4, I would be like, that's cool. I'm cool with 4, because it's an uneven number. So who knows?
I'm going to go curl up in a ball on the ground until the finale because I don't know if I can handle this.
No, I think it'll come out fine.
I'm so stressed. I'm very comfortable with 3-pick voting. K to J, Junhyun, those are my guys. They're all similarly ranked, so I'm probably not doing anybody any favors voting for them with relation to getting them in the top 9. But they're like my 3s. They're my boys.
I'm voting 3s to keep some survivors.
The finale, I'm just going to lay on the ground and just...
Oh, you would hardly be sitting.
I just honestly...
I'm using my 3-pick I'm keeping my kind of 1-pickish person in there, but also mostly to get him past this next cut, like Woongi.
Yeah.
Not because I think they're going to make it in the group, but I want to give people like that as much screen time as possible.
Yeah.
So they get another group or something. Kwanji. I think I'm doing Kwanji, Woongi, and I think Junhyun, I can't remember. 1K group, 2G group. When it comes to 1-pick, who do you think you'd pick right now?
I said before, and I think it's the correct decision for me to 1-pick Kata. I think that is for me.
Excuse me.
Where I should be. It doesn't mean that he's I think about it differently. I 1-picked on Girls Planet. Oh my God, Suichi, who didn't even make it into the team. But my bias in Kepler is Yeso. And I was never 1-picking her. But she is my bias. So I feel similarly here to where I would 1-pick Kata into this team because I need him in this team.
Yeah.
But my bias in this team is Kim Tae-rae.
Tae-rae is good.
He is my bias in this team.
He's a good dialogue.
He is adorable. His vocals are like the style that I love, the like second gen, like beautiful ballad vocal guy. He's just like, that's my bias in this team.
He looks cool too. He's a cool looking
But
dude
I think
too.
as global voters, we our votes count for so much less than the Korean fans.
You have to pick G group.
And I need K to be in this team.
Here's the thing though,
even if he's
I
not
would
my
say
bias.
if it was, but for me, if it was K group, it would be Junghyun, of course, just because I like Junghyun.
Yeah.
From K group, I can, there's so many I can understand, but if you were to say between Jay and like Kata, for example, the reason I don't feel so bad about Jay is because he is still a little rough around the edges. Dance and is Korean.
It's not that.
But Kata, if you think about it, Kata can rap. He's an amazing everything. And I do believe he can really sing.
Yes,
Probably
he
at
can.
the same level as Jay. He just doesn't have Jay's personality
like,
to his voice.
I love Jay, and I feel like part of me is like, I would pick him as well. But if you're making me choose between the two of them, between Jay and Kata, I just have to give it to Kata.
Who's in a more desperate situation too? I think it's Kata.
I think Kata deserves this.
I
don't know how to describe it.
He's farther along in his journey.
He's been a trainee for 9 years. He's in this god-awful Nugu company. He's had his team abandoned by Rain. I mean, no one's talking about that, but it's the truth. Cypher has been... Rain hawked Cypher off to a separate company.
Yeah,
They're probably never going to come... And, like, looking at Cypher's, like... I liked their debut song. That group is not doing favors to this absolute talented gem.
Right.
This absolute all-arounder who... is Treasure J. You guys know how I feel about Treasure and Treasure J. Those are my boys.
Yeah.
But, like, he deserves this.
Well, what I'm saying though is I think Jay wouldn't hurt to go back to the oven a little bit more, kind of like he's farther along, but he's still it's not gonna either A, he gets picked up by somebody, or B, he goes back and trains a little more.
I just want someone to give
vocally.
Jay money to make an album, like
that's what I'm saying.
Soloist
That's what I'm
album.
saying. Kata doesn't make it. Jay gets cast aside or Kata gets cast aside. I think Kata would have a harder time than Jay. Because
it's not that it's having a harder time.
Not a harder time.
Kata has debuted.
I know, but that doesn't mean anything. If you don't have money, you don't have a career. It doesn't matter how many times you debuted. So my point is that I think Kata just has the skills to be in a super group. He is a super top player who I'm harping on this, but I really believe doesn't get the respect because of his height. I'm not. Yeah. I really think he's an amazing guy. Jay, you can see parts where he's a little weaker. His dance, his Korean. So it's not going to hurt my feelings if he goes back and trains a little bit longer.
I don't feel that way, like, because I think he's weaker or anything.
No, but you know,
it's because I think that, like, Jay could be in the music industry in lots of different ways that I think would still be really interesting and good.
Yeah.
Like, I just need someone to give him money to make a solo album, and he could be a singer. It doesn't have to be in K-pop. It doesn't have to be in a K-pop
he's
group.
an English speaker.
He is just an amazing musician and singer, and I would support his music regardless of where it is. It doesn't have to be in a boy group.
Yeah. So
But I think I would be ecstatic if he made it into this team.
If I had the one pick and you're thinking strategically, like let's say Woongi makes it to, and I was like, one pick Woongi. I know he would not make it, but everybody feels that. So what if all those people voted for him? Could he make it? I still don't think so. I just don't think he has the numbers. So for me, it would be probably someone like Joohyun or somebody unique that I think has a chance of making it, that I still want to see in the group. I like Jay a lot, but I like more of a chaos. I want chaos and personality and stuff. So I don't know. We'll have to just see who survives. Then I'll do the one pick thing. But I'm actually honestly looking forward to the shakeups, to the popular members dropping and this, that, and the other, because I don't want anybody, audience included, to get egotistical about their pick, or the idols to get egotistical because they think they're popular on their show, when everything can change at the drop of a hat. Because I want a group that's going to be unique and dynamic, and I hope in the end it does become.
I think that the reason why I have such a huge list of I'm not mad about it people is because I think the group can be incredible and dynamic with a lot of different combinations.
This season is full of a lot of good people though too. Diamonds in the rough.
Like, if I'm honest about it, like, I will cry myself to sleep at night if Tay-Ray doesn't make it into this team.
Tay-Ray will do something though. He's a kind of a unique commodity though, in the way that he's not your normal idol in a lot of ways.
But he's so beloved by the Korean fans. I'm counting on them to carry him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, that's a lot. Okay.
We'll see.
We've still got like 3 more weeks of this, everybody. I am exhausted.
Why do we do every time we do
Why
these
am
shows?
I getting so emotionally invested in this?
Every time we do these shows, this is like our 4th one or something. Why do we do it?
I'm so emotionally invested. Okay, everybody, leave us a comment. Who's your one pick? Okay, we'll talk to you next week.
Love you, bye.
Everybody.